Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I got a diagnosis video here on 2005 Volvo. The customer complaint is that the AC works really good. Well, the car is in idle, but as soon as she goes into like a highway speed or so, it kind of like cuts out and it start blowing warmer. So the first thing I checked, it was charge. Um, this car has one port under here, so you need to remove this plastic to connect the high side port, and then that's the low side. I already had that checked, and it was low. It was only like 220, and it still was working. So I recharged it, found a leak on the low side valve. I already replaced that one, and everything is good as far as the AC pressures and amount. Compressor is working good, but it still cuts as soon as I raise the speed to like around 2000 RPM, 1500, or above 1500. So the first thing that I noticed it was the fan. Like I couldn't hear that fan blowing, like going fast, which is the normal um, situation on a cooling fan when you have the AC on. The fan should be above 70% or so, like that it keeps the engine cold and enough airflow to the condenser to keep the pressures on a normal range. All right, so to check the fan status, I'm using the Snap-on Zeus. I try my other two scanners, Hotel and even Autologic, and I couldn't do it, at least not the activation of the fan itself. So I had the car running and I did the vehicle. For these, I am selecting the pits that I need. So as you can see, if you see right here, I have the AC pressure, which is, this is the high side, which is okay, perfect. So the AC switch is still off. That's something you need to see or catch in here. The AC compressor is on, but the cooling fan is only on a 26%. So I'm going to turn the AC off. And as you guys can see, right now the AC is off and there is no change on the fan speed. That should at least double. If you have a fan running on 26 at idle, it should, when you put the AC, at least go to like 40, 45, 50%. And I think that this fan is just going, going down. So I'm going to turn the engine off, keep the ignition on, so we can do the test. I'm going to do the test with you guys. So I'm going to exit from here, and then we're going to go over to functional tests, actuator tests, and then we will select here the different fan speeds. And this is just for you to have an audible test and see if the fan is blowing. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get a rack or something. You guys can see at least a movement. I think that should probably work. All right, so again, I got the ignition on. I'm gonna start with the slowest setting. And this is in order to know if we have a problem with a relay, with the engine computer, or something else that is not being able to activate this fan. So I'm clicking on the 25%, and it takes just a little bit. Hopefully you can see movement in there, and obviously the time and activation is exceeded, so it goes out. I can repeat the test. You'll see how that will lift up. It's not on yet. Now it's on. You can see that paper moving. Okay, perfect. We can turn that off. So the 25% is working. We saw that on the scanner itself too. So we're gonna pick up the 50%. Same thing. I'm just going to click in here so you guys don't need to see that. It's more important to see that paper coming up. And as you can see now, it blows it up, so it's even faster, right? So we can turn that off. Actually, the limit it got exceeded. So I'm going to put that rag in there. I'm going to exit here, and I'm going to go to the 100%. Again, takes a little bit to activate it, but we'll see that rag coming out of there. And I can hear it. I don't, I didn't experience like a super fast speed, but that is going to the 100%. Yes, the activation time limit is very short, so but it's working. Right now I'm in idle, and as you can see, the fan speed is at 43%, and it's staying in there. So electrically, it's not necessary to check anything. You are or we are able to make the fan run, turn it on and off, different speeds. It's just not keeping up to keep the pressures where they should be, because that's a very normal pressure for idle. That's a little off focus. So you can see it's 217 pounds. That will be again the high pressure. I'm going to raise the idle to like 1500, kind of, or around, sometimes a little higher. 250. Yeah, the compressor went off now, but the switch is staying off. So that time it went off for something else. Okay, look at the speed of the fan again. Hmm. Compressor is supposed to be on. I don't feel that. And if we see the pressures, the AC pressure is in 72. That compressor is off. And the status should be on. Huh. So we have another issue here. All right, I'm glad that I was able to duplicate the speed of the fan. It's not really helping us. 27, but this is telling me that the compressor should be on. All right, now what I need to do is put a test light on that clutch activation signal and see why is now the compressor off. Again, I know that just by looking at the at that pressure. Let me see if it is focused. Yeah, 78 pounds on low side. Oh, sorry, high side means compressor is off. It's not working. All right, guys, let me stop the video and check. I'm going to put that test light there, and also check if we have a low side and a high side pressure switch on this system to not condemn the compressor yet. I mean, with the pressures of the way it is right now, 80 psi, it should be working. And the status is telling me that we have no switches uh, telling this compressor to go off. Even right now, the compressor status is on, so I'm going to check straight to the compressor. All right, guys, I am outside. I put the test light, as you can see. Let me show you how I connected it. So it's just a single wire. I did put a person probe in there, and then I ground right at the transmission, and the light is on. Right now, the clutch, as you guys will see here, is engaged, and we can see that here on the scanner. Again, we have. Let me make sure this is focused in there. Okay, we got 223 pounds on the high side. The cooling fan is running at 43%, and the status is on, and the switch, which is the high pressure switch, is off. When that one is on, it will disconnect the compressor clutch, but then this one will say off. Remember, we were having now an issue that says compressor on, but no AC. So I'm going to let this happen again here. So I'm going to stop the video, and as soon as this happens, I will get you guys back in here so you don't have to wait for 5 to 10 minutes. I want to see what happens with the fan speed, because remember we were having like a 26%, and now it's in 43. All right, so let's let's take, let's just stop and come back when that happens. All right, got it to react. So first we got the light on. Let me make sure this is focused. As you can see, compressor is on, but look at the low side, or sorry, the high side pressure switch is in 74. That compressor is not engaged. The clutch is off, and we can see that here. So the compressor is disconnecting the clutch, but it's not losing the activation. So we have a compressor clutch problem. One thing I don't like is this. Sorry, I'll try to point with the light. Is this a speed on the fan? 26. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because right now, for the computer, this compressor is running. I will have to see the strategy as far as fan speed because the pressure is low. So the fan is probably not running because of that. I'm not sure 100% what the activations, the status, the strategy for this fan is. Yeah, and after this happened, the compressor completely disconnected. All right, one thing I want to show. All right, so as you can see, it's not working. Just focus on this capture. You can see the pressure is 84, and the status of the compressor is on. But I'm going to turn the car off and on without doing anything else, and I bet you that clutch is going to engage at least for or till I raise the RPMs. I don't really need to go down to know if it's running or not. All I need to see is the pressure. It didn't. It didn't run. Oops, sorry guys. This is not focusing. Yeah, it's not running. Try a little bit, but no. And now the fan speed is in 15%. So that's weird. Like I said, it's why is the speed of the fan going slower on an engine that isn't completely normal speed or temperature, which I should have in there. Let me select that too as well. Let me go to custom and see what is temperature, coolant temperature. Should have that since the beginning. All right, yeah, the coolant temperature is in 190, so it's not too hot. The cooling fan speed is in 15%. Sure, put that recording software on the SUS. Sometimes it's hard to see too much clearer. That's not so bad. So yeah, it's not running. Fan is running really slow. But again, compressor should be on. Look at the test light. So we know we do have the activation in there. Going to lower the vehicle a little bit. Can erase the key easy there. Yep, that's enough. I don't want to break my test light. All right. Going to leave it off just a little bit. I haven't lost the communication. It's an idle. Trying to make it work again. No. It's not working. That's another thing we can try. And be careful if you try this yourself. Just, yeah, see, it's a clutch. I just touch it. And now we have compressor working. And yes, it is part of the strategy to not run the fans too fast if the AC pressure is low. So it's a smart system. I would really like to see that fan running, like I said, on 45 or so, but see, it's right now it's running on 45. I still think we have two different issues. All right, guys, 1 second. Yeah, as long as I don't accelerate the vehicle too much, it stays working. And we know that is the clutch, the one is disconnected. It's disconnected and it's not working. So let me talk to my manager, see what we want to do. I would recommend, well, compressor, dryer, or accumulator. I think it's in this case. And I'm not really happy with the fan, but I cannot really call it bad. Not like this. All right, guys. So let me see what my manager wants to do because the main problem, the disconnecting of the compressor is the clutch. So I cannot condemn the fan. It's not working. And looks like it's a smart system because somehow it reaches the pressures and it stays or makes the fan go a little higher. Right now we're in 220. It's still in 43. So it's like mm, right in the limit, right? All right, but let's focus on what the customer complained and not what we want to fix. Because that's our life as techs, right? Okay, so let me keep going. All right, guys, I got the approval for replacing the compressor. Clutch is it's almost the same price, which is, I mean, I cannot understand that, but it is what it is. So I am doing the recovery of the gas with my machine. Again, this is one other thing that I wanted to show you where the high pressure side port is hidden under the plastic in here. And I don't think I will be showing too much of removing the soda compressor. It's very easy and simple to do, and many videos about that. So I'm just going to recover that, replace the compressor, and restart the car. Do an acceleration to test the fan activations and that the clutch stays engaged, which we know that's the issue. Uh, and that will be my next step in the end of the video, just to confirm the diagnosis and the repair. All right, guys. All right, guys. I'm doing vacuum now. I got the obviously the new compressor installed. This is the old compressor. Again, the problem is lies right here. It might be the coil or adjustment in here. Either way, uh, it has almost 100,000 miles. This is a 2005, so it's better to replace. So hopefully we have everything good. I'm gonna check for leaks. Let me see if I can show that compressor to you guys. So, yep, yep. I think you guys are having a good look in there. Yeah, somebody else replaced the oil pan in this car. That wasn't me. Like Shaggy's on. All right, guys. Let me do vacuum, recharge, and then I get the scanner back, and we take a look and see how it goes. All right, guys. I got the scanner connected. Ignition is on. I already ID the vehicle. So to get to what we need to see, it's just going to the data list. Where all the PIDs are, at least on a Snap-on, and most likely in any other scanner too. So we're going to do a custom list deselect all. AC pressure. I like to see the ambient temperature, um, engine speed, coolant temperature. I want to select some of the stuff that we were looking at before. AC compressor status, engine cooling fan percentage. Let's see if we see anything else. Fuel pressure, blah, blah, blah. AC pressure switch. Definitely, we need that one. And it looks like that's all we need, right? So then we click on list view, and that generates, well, right now, obviously the car is off. So we got no RPM, and the pressure is in 100 psi. The ambient air pressure is in hectopascals, which I don't know why they do that. All right, let the car start and stabilize. AC pressure switch went up. There's no um, call for AC, as you can see. Just letting the car idle and get a stable. Oof, what a hot day today. Well, not as bad as some of the days of last week or the week before, actually. All right, gonna put the fan, internal blower, and AC is on now. Hopefully, you guys can see here that the cooling fan speed is remaining in 26, 27. AC pressures, it's a little lower than with the other compressor. Well, let's just watch and see how the car works. It's a little cold, 136 degrees. It feels nice and cold inside the vehicle. We can see that the compressor is working with AC compressor status on, and the pressure, that is again the high pressure, and 214. Cooling fan is only in 27. Well, coolant temperature of the engine is cold. Remember, for emissions, this is a strategy that even though you got the AC running, it's not letting the fan run too fast, because otherwise the engine will take longer to warm up. And that's why I haven't started to do any tests as far as acceleration yet. I want to see at least, 160. Probably can help them out accelerating the engine a little bit. That is 2000. Hopefully the camera is in focus. It's a little hard for me to see this close. Probably I had the phone maybe around 8 inches of my face, and yeah, my eyes don't focus on something that close. That's what happens when you age. So far it's working good. Now we can see that the fan went up to 40 something. The engine is reaching almost 160. Pressures are good. Compressor status is now off. Again, completely normal, cycling on and off. I don't see nothing abnormal. I think the outside temperature right now is around 90 degrees. The shop feels probably like 98. But yeah, everything seems to be working good. So let me stop the video. I'm going to warm it up a little bit, and then If everything is good, which I think it is, guys, this is the end of the video. Hopefully, it's good for some of you new techs that need to know how to test a compressor and or to see how the fan works on these cars, because it's not much information that you can, get your hands on. Uh, all data and identifics on Volvo are not too deep as far as description and operation. Unless you got beta and access to it, you'll be, in some of the cases, almost left alone or looking at Google for information, the web. All right, guys, just to not make this longer, hope you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up and hit that little bell if you want to be notified when my new video shows up. All right, guys, see you next time.